Hi there. How is everyone doing? I'm already seeing so many people in the chat. That's awesome. Hey, Larry. Hey, Craig. Hi, Annie. Hi, Kat. Hi, Craig. I said that already. Yeah, going down. Hi, Tikio. How are you? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but um, you can correct me. Hi, Juliet. How are you? Hey, Robin. That's a good question. If everyone wants to say where they are tuning in from, that'd be great. John, who usually tunes in from Australia, has a board meeting tonight. So he is not going to be able to make it, at least not in the beginning. He might pop in later, but we all know John. He's one of the moderators for me. And so he may or may not be popping in. So if you see anything that I should probably know about in the chat and you don't see me handling it, just drop a little line, let me know. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Hey, Jeff, how are you? I understand you're going to be home in 9 minutes. For those of you who can see the chat but don't know, Jeff is Skyfocal. So he's going to be home in 9 minutes, which means when he gets home, I'm hitting the mute button and I'm going to do it correctly this time. I'm going to do it on StreamYard, not on my computer like I did last time. Silly me. So when the dogs start barking, we're not going to get interrupted. I don't think I've seen anyone tune in yet from Facebook. If you were on Facebook seeing this, could you drop a comment so that I know that we are streaming live over there as well? So lots of different places people are tuning in from. I see Colorado, Florida, California, Illinois, Canada. I know I missed some. Tennessee, East Side. Wendy, I'm West Side. No, yeah, I'm West Side. Don't even know where I live. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Tony. Hey, Missy. Hi, George. And George, you're in Scotland, right? Hey, Jenny from Utah. Whoa. I have a dog throwing up behind me. That's always nice. Hi, Dee. How are you from the UK? Norma from Illinois. All right. Tanya from Tennessee. What part of Tennessee, Tanya? Hi, Leanne. And Leanne is in Virginia, right? How are you? And Connie from PA. How are you? Long Island, New York. Gosh, all over the place. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Yeah, so Crystal's saying, hey, Louise, hope you're doing well. We missed you last week. Well, let me just tell you, I'll fill you guys in. While you get your cooking questions together, I'm going to fill you in on how crazy this weather's been and how much has been going on. So I didn't do Tasty Tuesday last Tuesday because Jeff and I were in 2 different locations. I was in Mississippi snowed in and he was in Tennessee snowed in. Now, we decided to do that on purpose because I thought that being snowed in Tennessee with satellite internet would really impede my working, right? And it would have really. So we know both areas are getting snow. Plus, when you have 2 houses, you kind of want to check on them, especially when we're not used to this kind of weather. So we made the decision to separate, so to speak, right? Just to go to our different houses. And I got so much done at that house. I was there the whole week by myself. Oh my goodness. I rearranged every cabinet, every pantry. I cleaned everything. I wiped down all the cabinets. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful over there. So it's really exciting for me that I got that done. But we were snowed in way longer than I thought. So 6 inches of snow here is like 6 feet of snow in Maryland, okay, where I grew up. Nobody can drive in it. And it's kind of interesting. Both times it snowed here, a significant amount, more than just a little flurries. It's a sheet of ice underneath this snow. And so you don't get any traction. So even though I had 4-wheel drive, like it's still dangerous out there. And people were slipping off the roads and everything else. So we decided to stay put. So finally I came home. I don't even know what day it was. And then get this, Jeff had late flights every single night. So he stayed at the other house because it's closer to his work, because roads were still terrible in Mississippi. Tennessee were fine. Mississippi was still terrible. So we did this like exchange. I came home and he went there and he stayed there for a couple nights. So last night was like the first night in, gosh, I feel like 2 weeks that we actually ate dinner together. So that was really nice. And I made pasties for the second time. I made them when I was snowed in at work once, and just working on getting the filling. Well, the filling's good. I just use what I had on hand, but I'll do a more traditional one for the recipe. But the crust is like key. So I was working on that. So I am home for 2 days and I'm not going outside. It's freezing. I mean, it's cold and it's snowy and it's freezing. And I'm like, why would I go outside? So I didn't go outside. Jeff didn't come home for those 2 days. Well, he comes home last night and he goes down to the chicken coop because I'm like, Jeff, like I saw some of them out, but I was a little nervous. Like, and that's another reason why I didn't want to go down there, because I didn't want to find out that they were frozen in their house. I was so nervous about it. I was like, what am I going to do? Because I'll cry and it'll just be a whole mess. Right. So, and Jeff's like, honey, don't worry about it because there's nothing you can do. If that's the case, that's the case, but it's probably not. And it wasn't. They're fine. They're fine. But we had a busted pipe down there because those little chickens eat all the insulation off the pipe. So then the pipe burst. So I don't know how long. Like, I guess as soon as it started to warm up, we have gushing water everywhere, right down there it's not in our house. So that's good. But we don't have the right tool to turn off our water supply. Literally, our water turnoff is at the road. Well, that's going to change because we're going to have one put in here. For some reason, I don't know why, but we don't have one. So we had to call the water company last night to come out and turn off the water. So then I didn't have water today, which is weird, right? Because it's something we really take for granted, I think, is running water. So I didn't have any water, but Jeff years ago set up these rain barrels, and we don't use them because we're not off grid or anything. When we used to use them to get water for the chickens and stuff, but then even that hike was a big hike to take the water down to the chicken coop. So we had a water line run down there. But I used it today. I used my Foodi pot too to fill it up so I could have some water to flush the toilets, because you can't flush the toilets without the water. All right. So that's my thing. It's been crazy. There's been so much going on, but I have gotten so much done. So that is a big plus. So Kat is asking, did I have Chinese yet? No, Jeff is going to be home probably any minute. As soon as that happens, I'm going to mute you guys so you don't hear the dogs barking. And I got so many great suggestions on Facebook from that post. So I decided, and I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. Singapore Chow Fun Maine, something like that. I don't even know. Never had it before. So I'm going to try that. And I also got spare ribs because I've never had those either, believe it or not. And I know they're very popular. So I got a boneless variety and a regular bone-in variety just to kind of sample. And because I want to do a recipe, because I bet they're delicious. I haven't tried them, so I don't know yet. All right. So let's get on to some questions. I think Jeff just got home, so I'm going to mute. I see Norma is watching from Facebook. Good. So that means we're streaming there. That's perfect. As soon as I hear the dogs bark, I'm going to, yep. Okay. Oh, mute. That's coyotes. They are going nuts out there. Oh my goodness. Jeff should be home though any second. Okay, when the dogs are quiet right now, the coyotes, they sound like a bunch of screaming cats. Hey, hey Jenny, hey Tony. So you live in Missouri, watching from Maryland, out there for work. What part of Maryland? That's where I grew up. I grew up in Annapolis. Hi, DeWanda. How are you from Washington State? And George, yep, Edinburgh, Scotland. Let's see. I'm just going down here. Hi, Joanne from Ontario, Canada. And Kat's family's from Cornwall. Kat, where do you live again? I think you said, but I don't remember. Oh, Gwen, thank you so much for subscribing. So that is something I wanted to give you guys an update. Some of you will remember our New Year's Eve party and that I was hoping to get to 300,000 subscribers, and I knew it wasn't going to happen, but it was fun anyway. We had a good time. So I just checked again today, and let's see what I'm right now. 299,903 subscribers. So 97 to go. Wouldn't it be awesome if it happened when I was live? I don't think so. 97 in an hour is quite a lot, but yeah. Thank you, Juliet. Juliet's liking my lipstick. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. All right. And Crystal's from Georgia. She said it snowed enough to cancel school for one day. See, it's so unusual for us too in the southern part of the States. Like, we're not used to it. So everything shuts down. Our schools were shut down for a week. I mean, literally a week. No, not crazy. I don't think Jeff can tell time. He said he would be home in 9 minutes, but it's been way past 9 minutes. Now, this is when the worry wart in me starts to come out, like, what's taking him so long? Okay, let's see. Yeah, Wendy's saying ice is a game changer. It really is. I mean, even when I did come home, and I have a 4-wheel drive, which doesn't really help in ice, but the ice was under the snow, but the snow was packed down enough I was able to get traction. But as I was coming over a hill, and there's a pond over to the right, so it's like, oh my gosh, please don't lose control now, because right into that pond, that would have been cold. I just took my foot off the gas. Like, we just let the car go, and I was slipping a little bit, but not too bad. So we're all safe. Everything's good. Oh, Crystal's saying, when it's going to snow in Georgia, everybody goes and buys milk and bread, and they've always done that. I think that's everywhere. Everybody did that in Maryland. Everybody did that here. In fact, I went to the grocery store before it started snowing because I knew I was going to be snowed in, testing recipes for 7 days. Well, not 7 days, but I thought I would be there for at least 2 or 3. So I went to the Walmart, right? Empty, totally empty. Hi, Terry from Florida. How are you? Oh, thank you, Pamela. Thank you so much. She says I'm amazing and I have the best voice and a fantastic cook, as I clear my throat because I need a drink of water. Okay. So does anybody have any cooking questions? Let's get into it. Kat, I thought about melting the snow to flush the toilet. I really did. But most of it's gone now. So yeah. So anyway, okay, so this is a good one. Connie, regarding the cold and hot blender, have you tried any thicker dips, like maybe a spinach dip or a hot wing dip? I'm trying to think. I've done peanut sauce, so that's pretty thick. And it works out fine. I've done marinara, and I like mine on the thicker side because I use it a lot of times for a dipping sauce. So that's worked fine. It depends on what the ingredients are, and it depends on how it cooks, because like some milk products will definitely scorch to the bottom. Cheese, like I make a broccoli cheese soup. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so he's gonna put the dogs outside for a minute, and but now that they've know it's him and everything, they'll be fine. Okay, so yeah, so you can definitely do it, but if you're making things like that have cheese or cream, they do sometimes scald to the bottom. I don't have any problems with that because I have a brush that gets down in there, so it doesn't bother me, but it may bother you. And let's see. Okay, so let's keep going. Thank you, Barbara. Bye, Joanne. See you next time. Hi, Trisha. How are you? Okay, so Annie has a question about the chickens. Are the chickens okay with coyotes? Well, if they were out, they wouldn't be. In fact, we think our rooster they were free ranging, and Jeff ran an errand, and they left him out, which we do a lot, right? And came back, and our rooster was gone, dead, which I'm not sad about at all because he didn't like me. And roosters aren't nice. So I'm not even upset about it. But Jeff was. Jeff really liked him. So, but anyway, so yeah, the coyotes will come, or dogs, wild dogs will come. But they are so penned up. They're fine. They're fine. As long as they're not out free ranging, which we have not done since. So after that happened, we're like, no. Okay, so Kat made yogurt 2 weekends in a row in the Foodi. It was so good. But question for you: have you tried making ricotta with the whey? I have not. I've made ricotta plenty of times with cream and whole milk, but I have not tried to make it with the whey. There's something about it just seems like it's not going to work, although people say it does. I just have never tried it. If anyone else in the chat has tried it, pipe in, let us know how it went. I have not made yogurt in a long time. We went through a time where we were making yogurt all the time. And then it got to the point where I was making it and we weren't eating it, and then it was being wasted. So I have not made it in a long time. But both Jeff and I want to get back on our lower carb eating. So we need to kind of get on that. As soon as Jeff comes back in, I'm going to have him let the kittens out. I don't know if you can pick that up, but they're in their room and they are crying. Oh, and another little update. Lady May, our little kitten that was sick the last time, got sick again, same thing. So now it's gone from just being an acute one-time issue to a chronic issue. So she's back on the antibiotics. She had the steroid injection. She is very anemic. That's the issue, right? She's very anemic. And she shows us that there's a problem by standing and licking the wall. It's so weird. But so we have to find a specialist and stuff like that to find out how we're going to manage this, because she gets very lethargic and she's just, her gums are totally white. I have a feeling she'll bounce back. It'll be fine, but I would rather be proactive than reactive. So we're going to have to come up with a game plan because she is such a sweet little kitten. Jeff just went back outside. Okay. Wendy's saying that foxes took out her flock. Yeah, we don't have, well, I'm sure we have foxes. Okay. I'm sure we do. I haven't seen them. So, but definitely we have these coyotes. They are crazy. Okay. Missy wants to know how I make my ham. Well, this past year, Missy, I just did a slow cook version of my version of a honey baked ham with a sugar crust. And it is so good. It really is good. I make ham all different ways, depending, on what I feel like doing. But I think that is the best way I've ever made ham. It was really good. Hi, Catherine from England. How are you? Hi, Pamela from Kentucky. How are you? Okay, Kat's from Austin, Texas. All right. Hey, Dawn, how are you? Oh, Tony. Okay, so Tony's visiting Maryland. I've been all around Baltimore last week, currently in Easton, was in Cambridge earlier. So just before I left Maryland, I lived on Kent Island. So I know Easton very well. I know Baltimore pretty well too, because I worked there as well as a nurse. But anyway, Michelle says I'm going to unsubscribe and then resubscribe. I wish, right? You'll be here for a while, right? But that would be cool. I don't know if I won't even know who the 300,000 subscriber is though, right? All right, let's see. Oh, my baby, do you hear? Oh, Barb said her daughter went out in Portland to help her neighbor and face planted and cut up her face. Yeah, it's just dangerous. Hey, John, you made it. I don't know where Jeff keeps going in and out. I want him to let the cats out. Okay, so Laura's got a question. What are good low sodium products? Okay, so anything, you can make anything low sodium, buy the whole ingredients and make it yourself. That is really the only way you're going to control your sodium is to put your own seasonings in, to put your own ingredients into it. So I don't recommend any low sodium products like I mean I guess you could get low sodium soy sauce, but I don't even know. Like I don't make my own soy sauce. That's for sure. But like I just make my own stuff as much as possible. I make my own stuff. So I start out with the base ingredients that don't have any additives and then make it myself. I don't know of any good low sodium products off the top of my head, but I bet you there's other people in the chat that could chime in and let you know. But I don't buy any packets of anything. Well, I can't say I never do. I mean, occasionally I do, especially if I'm testing a recipe. Like I bought ranch packets and everything so that I could get as close to that flavor, as people are used to. And on occasion, I'll buy a taco packet, but normally not in years have I done that. I just use my own blend of taco seasoning and then add what salt I want. I don't worry so much about using salt when I cook because I do not use processed ingredients very often. And that's where most of your sodium comes from. So most people will tell you that if you're cooking at home and you're using a kosher or a sea salt, you're going to salt your food as you go, and you're going to use less salt than if you bought it already made, pre-made. So you really will cut down on your sodium that way. But other people, if you know some great low sodium products that are for purchase, please throw them in the chat. Okay, so Annie, I have a question. I made yogurt yesterday in my OL 601. I followed your directions and heated the milk, cooled it. And when I hit the yogurt, it said boil. I put it back on dehydrate. Okay, so what happened for the OL 601 is you don't hit yogurt again. After it boils and cools, you hit start and it will go to ferment. If you hit yogurt again, it resets back to the boil, but you can change that. So if that happens to you in the future, push your down arrow or your up arrow. They're different on different models. I think the OL 601 might be the up arrow. On the left side, the temperature side, not the time side. So push your up arrow 1 and it will go from boil to ferment. Okay. So you can get back to where you wanted. I made that mistake so many times where I hit the yogurt button again and then it goes to boil. So you hit start again. Once it says add your starter and stir, then just hit start and it will go to ferment automatically for you. Okay, so Leanne is asking, has anyone ever boiled water to cook ravioli in their Ninja Foodi? Yes, absolutely you can do that. Just use sear saute on high. It's just like the stove. And it's good because it's deep. It's a deep pot. There's no splatter. It doesn't boil over. Like, I love it. I love boiling pasta in there. Now, if it's something, with the exception of ravioli, because ravioli need to be boiled, in my opinion, gently, right? And pressure cooking can be a little bit more aggressive. So I don't pressure cook ravioli, or at least I haven't. I'm sure you can. I have not done that. In fact, I haven't even made or cooked ravioli in the Foodi, which is weird because I love ravioli. I need to do that. I need to make my own ravioli and do that. But I do pasta, like other pasta, I'll pressure cook. But if I was going to do ravioli, I would definitely use sear saute. Kind of like just dumplings too. Like if you were going to do dumplings and you just wanted to boil your dumplings, I would use sear saute. Okay. Oh, wow. Tony's cooking at the hotel in Salisbury. That's awesome. So you took the Foodi or a air fryer, I guess. That's awesome. That's so awesome. I love that recipe. Parmesan crusted chicken. Oh my gosh, I love that. I'm sorry, Barbara. The dog's barking scared the cat. Okay, so I am obviously way, 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 way far behind because you guys are still talking about Jeff getting home. So let me scroll on down here. So Robin, in the Mississippi pot roast, is butter necessary? We're trying to lower our cholesterol. No, it is not. That is a flavor enhancer, just because it's a buttery type of ranch seasoning mix, but it is not necessary at all. So you can just omit that. It's not going to affect the recipe. I mean, it might affect the taste a little bit, but not enough for you to manage or notice. It'll be fine. Okay, so Michelle wants to make hot sausage with peppers and onions in what? And I mean, I have a sausage with peppers and onions, but it's with pasta and it's a pressure cooked meal. So I would want to know, what do you want to use to make it? If you wanted to use the Ninja Foodi, I would probably saute the peppers and the onions underneath and then do the sausage on top on air fry and just leave the peppers and the onions, underneath to finish up. And then do the sausage air fry. That would be good. The other thing I've done with sausage, and this is interesting. So I haven't decided how I'm going to actually make my dill pickle soup for the video and the recipe because I want it to appeal to a lot of people. And if you don't have the OL series, you're not going to be able to do this in the Ninja Foodi. So I kind of cut that. I think that kind of cuts down on what people can do. And I want everyone to be able to make my recipe. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it this way for the actual recipe. But what I did was I put all the soup ingredients in the bottom and I used I think I used steam bake and had the sausages because I put sausage in mine. It was so good. Put sausages on the rack on above and was able to cook them at the same time as I was cooking all the other ingredients for the soup. That was pretty amazing. But if you want to follow up with how you want to do it, I mean, you could also use sear saute, but the sausages, sausage can take a long time to cook. So air fry is a good option, in my opinion. Hi, Whitney. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. I hope you subscribed. I'm like on a mission to get to 200 or 300,000 subscribers. Okay, I'm going to mute for a minute. Sorry. I'm sorry. My gosh. All right, Jeff is cleaning out the truck. So anytime he comes close to the door, the dogs bark. So I just told him, knock that off. He's like, but I'm bored. I got to do something, clean out the truck. It's nighttime and it's freezing, but he's out there cleaning out the truck. He wants to buy a new truck. In fact, he found a new truck and then somebody bought it right out from underneath of him. So he's kind of upset about it. And I forgot to ask him to let the cats out. Oh, well, he'll maybe come back in. Okay, so anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm on a mission here. So, I had an unsubscribe. That happens. So now I'm at 299,902. I was at 903. All right, no problems. It happens sometimes. So yep, Leanne, I already answered that because I'm so far behind in this. But yeah, you can definitely boil water in the Foodi to cook the ravioli. That would be fine. Absolutely fine. All right. Hi, Mary. How are you? Okay, so Michelle, I absolutely love your French onion chicken recipe for the Ninja Foodi. I would like to make it in the oven for a party of 8 to 10. Any ideas? That would be so easy to do, but I have to look at the recipe. So can you send me an email, Louise at thesaltedpepper.com, and then I will tell you how to make it in the oven. Did I give those instructions in the post? Sometimes I do. Let me look. French onion chicken. Oops, I spelled chicken wrong. Let me look because I might just be able to refer you. Poor kittens. All right, let's see. Oh no, I don't want to jump to recipe. This is actually, I don't want to use the jump to recipe. I want to find out if I, in the table, all my recipes have a table of contents at the top. So it does. It says, okay, so I have how to make French onion chicken on the stove. But you want to make it in the oven. Okay, I think I can do that. Okay, so you're still gonna, oh, my stomach's growling. You're still gonna want to sear your chicken, but you can sear your chicken and then put it on a tray in the oven. You could even roast your onions and what else do I put in there? I don't put mushrooms in there, do I? Anyway, I'm not gonna keep everybody else by going through this recipe. It's gonna take me a little bit of time. Email me, louise@thesaltedpepper.com, and I will be happy to give you the instructions on how to do it. Because there's gonna be like several different ways, but I'll try to think of what the easiest, quickest way is to do it. Well, Kat, okay, so if you have made it before stovetop, it's the same in the Foodi. So don't be afraid to make it in the Foodi. If you've already made it and you know it works. Okay, Tony, this is a good question. I've looked on your site, admittedly not too terribly hard. As far as Foodi cooking accessories that you routinely use, do you have a listing of your favorites or most useful? I do. It is a little outdated. It is for the 2-lid models, not the 1-lid model mostly. So I do need to kind of go back and clean that up. Somebody else asked me about that too, because the stackability in the 1-lid models is a little bit different than the 2-lid because the heating element is up in the lid. Whereas when we use the pressure lid on the 2-lid models, it's a little concave, so we have extra room for stacking when we're pressure cooking. So it is a little bit different, but most of them are the same. Diameter-wise, they all fit. And I think if you Google Ninja Foodi accessories, a post will come up. The first one is Amazon. Oh, I'm down there. I'm 8.5. But if you go on my website and type in Ninja Foodi accessories, it should come up. Yeah, I'm way down. I'm way down in Google search. I need to update that post, get back on the top. Anyway, but in the 2-lid models and the 1-lid model, both, the thing that I use the most is an 8x2 pan. I use a Fat Daddy-O, but it doesn't have to be. I also really like the baking kit that Ninja sells, although it's gotten pricey over the years. Everything's gone up so crazy. Like I used to like recommend the Grill Grate. That thing's $60 to $70 now. I'm like, whoa, that's too much. I mean, my goodness, you can almost buy the Ninja Sizzle indoor grill for that price. In fact, I almost bought it the other day on Kohl's at 40% off, and it was, I think, like $74. I'm like, do I hit the button? But I didn't because I don't need it. I just kind of want it. So yeah, so I do have some of the accessories on my website. Also, if you sign up for my email, I go over all that in an email because I send out a 7-day welcome series of emails that kind of gets you familiar with the Ninja Foodi, what accessories I use, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So, Crystal, so this may seem a weird question. What is the benefit of keeping chocolate chips in the freezer? I've listened to people talk about it a lot and how it's good to do it, but they never explain why. I guess temperature control, basically, but I don't keep mine in there. I don't keep mine in the freezer. I mean, if you have extreme changes in humidity in your house or you have extreme fluctuations of temperature, that can affect chocolate. Like you've all gone to get an older bag of chocolate chips, I'm sure, and seen it kind of gotten white looking, but the chocolate's still fine. It's still very usable. I don't keep them in the freezer, so I don't really know exactly why, but I would assume it would be temperature control, that they stay frozen, they stay one, one temperature, obviously. But then you have to worry about if you're bringing them out from the freezer into a hot and humid house, they're going to change so quickly. I just leave mine in a canister that's sealed and never had any problems. Okay, Wendy wants to find a low sodium ham. It's just too salty for me. You could probably make your own, cure your own pork and do it that way, really. But of course, even the curing process, salt is one of those things. You have to have it, but you could probably rinse it off. Or have you tried to do that? Have you tried to soak your ham before you actually bake it or slow cook it or whatever you want to do with it? That might work too. I know with chipped beef, a lot of people will soak it first, or at least rinse it off. Hi, Erin. How are you? Hey, John. John says he just got a few more to subscribe from the meeting today. That's awesome. That's probably why I went up a little bit today. Okay, Wendy wants to know if my cats go potty outside. No, they have a huge room. They have their own bedroom with climbing toys and they have a litter box and everything. So they're indoor cats only because outdoor cats don't live around here very long with the coyotes. So I am worried about my black and white cat. She's feisty as feisty can be, and she runs out the door any chance she gets. And of course, she hasn't gone anywhere, and we get her back in right away. But I told Jeff she's going to be a handful to keep inside. She just wants to be out, right? And some cats are like that. Now, Lady May, she could care less. She didn't want to go outside. It's nice in here, But yeah, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Okay, Mark, do I have a video on cooking liver and onions? I don't, but it is something that I want to do. I have never cooked beef liver before, so I'm not sure if you're talking about chicken liver or beef liver. A lot of people like beef liver and onions. I love chicken liver and onions that are fried, and I'm thinking that I could do a version in the Ninja Foodi, air frying them, and then putting them in that delicious gravy with the onions like my mom used to make. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But I think a lot of people want me to try beef liver, so I'm going to have to do that. I'm not opposed to it at all. Like I don't have an aversion to it. Although when I think about it, it's kind of like, oh, okay. But I'll do it. I'll do it. Jeff will not eat it, so it'll just be something I have to do when I'm by myself. I've tried to get him to eat chicken livers. No, he just won't do it. I mean, he does, but Okay, so Mary, if you are in the US, your ham is fully cooked. You do not need to cook it first. I would freeze it because all you're going to do is just warm it up when you're ready for it. If you're in the US, they are all cooked. If you're not in the US, I don't think it matters if you cut it raw and freeze it and then cook it when you bring it out, or if you cook it first and then freeze it. I don't think it matters. But if you're in the US, it's already cooked. Don't even worry about it. Because I wouldn't dry it out. I would just I would cut it up, freeze it into smaller portions, and then bake it when you bring it out, when you thaw it. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good, Barb. That's unusual. Barb says Barb says she has a boss at the university that never used salt, and she could just use spices, so you couldn't tell as everything was fantastic tasting. That's good. That's talent. That's talent there, because I find that I have to use a little salt. I just have to. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, my stomach's growling. Oh shoot, Jeff just went back outside again. Hey, Jeff. Shoot. Oh my gosh, let me go get these kittens. This is ridiculous. They are crying. Okay, come on, girls. Lady May, where are you? I know, Mouthy. Come on. Okay, Mouthy, I know. Okay, I know, all right. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, the mouthy one's out. Lady May was sleeping, so I'm going to let her be, but the mouthy one is out. She's the one that cries, and she wants to be part. She thinks she's half dog. Um, she's not afraid of anything, which is good because the dogs don't bother her because oh my gosh, I've got to tell you this story. I know this is so not about cooking or anything, but I got to tell you the story because it was hysterical. So I keep their door closed because number one, they have a litter box in there. And even though it's in a cabinet, my dogs think that that's like a dessert box. And that is disgusting. So I keep the door closed when they're in there. And I keep the door closed when they're out too. So that's why I make them go in frequently. Okay, Squeak is out. Lady May's in her room. I mean, Squeak, not Squeak. Well, I'm going to call her Cry because that's all she was. Whine. I'm going to call her Whiny. Anyway, so I opened the door to go feed the cats, and Boots is the black and white one. Boots was out, and my dog Gus always comes in because he either wants to eat the food or the cat litter or something. Well, it's not the cat litter he wants to eat, but he wants to eat the food too, right? So he knows when I go in to feed them that, oh, it's a fresh supply of food. And so he goes in there, and I'm at the door because I'm about to call him out to come with me to throw the can of cat food away. And Boots comes running down the hallway, runs into the room, gets in front of Gus, jumps up, smacks him right across the face. It was so funny. Like, don't you dare go near my food. Gus was like, okay, and came out. It was so funny. Oh my gosh, Boots is a riot. She is hysterical. She's a hysterical cat. Okay. Let's see. So Mary Smith has a question, but I didn't see it. Oh yes, I did. Okay, I did, and I answered it. Okay. And a prime rib, okay. And prime rib, I would not cook a prime rib first either. I would have it in the freezer. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's keep going here. Okay, Dana loves the salt-free seasoning at Dollar Tree. So yeah, there's that. Okay, Whitney has a question about how many Ninja Foodi appliances do I have? You probably don't want to know. A lot. Too many. A lot. A whole lot. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here at home. The XL oven, the coffee maker. Oh, and the creamy, that's 8. I have an old 2-lid Ninja Foodi, a new 1-lid Ninja Foodi, the indoor grill, the wood fire grill. 9. I love the blender too, and the XL oven. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the Speedy. That's what I have here. Then at my where I work, where the studio is, I probably have like 25. Yeah, because I've got 2 wood fire grills, 1 XL, 1 regular. So if I like an appliance, then I have 2 of them, because I want them at home too, because I actually cook with them. I don't just do recipes with them. I actually cook with them for myself. So I have 2 combis actually now too. Well, as soon as it's delivered, it was delayed, but I love that combi thing. So I have a lot, and I've bought every single one of them myself. So I'm not sponsored. I don't get free stuff. And that's on purpose because nothing's free, my friends. Nothing's free. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, Nuda Ninja was wondering, what would you suggest for a multi-purpose pressure cooker plus? The Ninja Foodi is that's the only one that pressure cooks, number one. So that narrows it down. Like, that's the only appliance they sell that pressure cooks, and nothing else pressure cooks. So it would be the Ninja Foodi. Now, when you get into what model, it really depends on what you can find the best deal on and what size you want. Okay. I personally do not think that the one with the bells and the whistles that is still at like $300 and some, it's outright. I think so. $250, $300. It's crazy priced. That's the OL 701. I think that's a bit much. That just has not come down in price. I mean, I got mine for $200 years ago, but it has just stayed very pricey. So unless you just want all the bells and whistles and money's not an object and you're splurging, I mean, it's a great one to get. But personally, I wouldn't pay that for it. Because I don't think the thermometer and the immediate pressure release is worth that much in difference. Because for $100 less, you can get the OL 601, which is the 8-quart, but without those two things, the thermometer and the pressure release that you can program. I personally like the 6.5 quarts better only because I'm so short. So if you are 5'2" or shorter, you may have trouble seeing in and getting down into the 8-quart. At least I do. So if standing on a stool is fine, you could obviously do that. As far as the 2-lid versus the 1-lid, gosh, it's a toss up for me. Like I like both. I like the ease of the 1-lid, but I kind of think I had more consistency in the 2-lid. You know, that could just be that I used it for so many more years. I just knew it like the back of my hand. This one, I still like every once in a while, I'll be like, did it even go under pressure? You know, that kind of thing. Because it just works a little different. Although it cooks the same. So the recipes work out the same. But yeah, definitely a Ninja Foodi. They are so amazing. Wendy, we need to get you on the Ninja Foodi bandwagon. So she has an Instant Pot and 3 air fryers. That does the trick. But man, when you can have one appliance that does it all, it's so great. That's amazing, Tony. So Tony upgraded to the smart lid. I travel the country nearly continually, like in hotels more than home. Yeah, I live in hotels more than home. So yeah, a Foodi is amazing to have in this lifestyle. Travel with it 2 years now. That's amazing. I have taken mine to hotels too, but I didn't have the 1 lid at that time. And I can imagine that is a game changer because yeah, hauling the 2 lids it's just another thing, right? So yeah, if you're a traveler, definitely the 1 lid's the way to go. All right. Let's see. Betty, I don't think this is for me. I don't know who this is to, but I think you're talking to somebody else. So I'm not even going to answer, but if it is for some reason for me, you can certainly send me put another comment, but I don't think that's for me. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Whitney, for subscribing. I appreciate that. I should check. I'm going to be depressed, aren't I? No, I don't really care, honestly. Let's see. Nope, still the same. We're still the same. Hi, Ron. How are you? Hi, Jerry. Hi, Jolene. Good to see you. And Ron made some barbecue chicken in the air fryer, and it was amazing. Yes. I'll tell you, I was not a fan of was not a fan of air fryers. I refused to get one because I thought they were just gimmicky, a gimmicky appliance that I would never use and blah, 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 blah. When I got the Ninja Foodi and an air fryer, of course I was going to try it out, right? I was like, wow, this really does make a difference. So they're not gimmicky. They are not exactly the same as a convection oven because they are smaller most of the time and they just circulate the air so effectively that they really do a great job. All right, John, I did. I went and got the cats out. Okay, so that tells me how far behind I am. And I'm going to be wrapping this up soon because my stomach is growling. Our Chinese food is here waiting. And I know Jeff's hungry too. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Annie got my number. By the time I get to his comment, the cats will be out. That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, so funny. Annie, the only replacement pot is the UK one. I don't understand that question. You should be able to get a replacement pot on the Ninja US site too. But so yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not understanding that. Okay, so Laura, there's now 1 lid Foodi. How different is it? So it's not really that different. I mean, it comes with extra functions, which I kind of like, especially the proofing function. So I don't have to use dehydrate anymore. And so I use the proofing function and that works pretty well. Works very well, actually. there's no fan going. So you don't have to worry about the dough drying out like you do in the ones that the 2-lid models where you use dehydrate to proof your bread. So the 1-lid Foodi, I mean, obviously it uses the same lid for air frying and pressure cooking. I think it stays cleaner. I think the lid stays cleaner in my experience anyway. So I've had mine for what, about 2 years now, Jeff, do you think?
Which one?
The 1-lid models. Has it been out 2 years?
1 lid or 2 lid?
The 1-lid. I'm sorry, the 1-lid.
I want to say 2 years.
Yeah, I want to say 2 years too. And I think that the lids stay cleaner, than my other 2-lid models when you air fry. And I guess that's because it's getting cleaned more frequently when you're pressure cooking and things like that, which that could be kind of gross to some people. So that's one thing. You use the same lid for both functions, but I wipe it out after every time I use it. So it's not that big of a deal. So there's steam crisp, steam bake. So 2 added cooking functions, the proof function on the 1-lid models. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And then there's 3 different versions of it. There's a 6.5 quart, there's 2 8 quarts, and the 8 quart, the higher end model is the OL701. That has a temperature probe that you can use to pressure cook, and also has a programmable pressure release. So you can set it for 10-minute natural release, and then it'll automatically release the pressure. So like that might be good if you are petrified of flipping that vent, because it'll do it for you, and it works great. They all work good though. They all work great. I haven't noticed any major differences in the way that they cook. Not enough to worry about. Oh, and Tony, I do have an Amazon store, but I'm in the process of trying to fix that up a little bit, so it may be confusing. But if you go to Amazon, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. There's my cat playing pool in the background. Settle down.
Hey,
Settle down. If you go to amazon.com/shop/the salted pepper, you will find my Amazon store. And then if you purchase anything after going through that store, then I get some low commission off of it. Okay, George, I apologize to you immensely because I just realized that I did not go on to Kajabi today. I did reply to your other message, but let me see. Okay. Community chat asking if I could replace the orange zest with marmalade in the slow cooked ham with sugar crisp. Can't find an unwaxed oranges anywhere just now and want to avoid the chemicals. And the orange zest goes into the sugar that gets put into the rub, correct? I'm trying to remember that one. This is the sugar crusted thing. The only thing that's going to happen with the marmalade is obviously it's got sugar in it already, and it is a wetter substance. So it's going to make a clumpier sugar. But will it taste the same? Yes. You could probably also just skip the orange zest if you wanted to. And there is a way to get wax off of oranges. You can boil them. Put them in a thing of boiled water and then wipe them off. So I'm pretty sure that you can get the wax off if you wanted to buy an orange and just put it in there to boil and get it off. But yeah, either will work. I'd probably skip it because you're going to end up with like kind of clumpy sugar. It's not going to dry off. Oh, and here, John's got a good idea too. Wash them in diluted vinegar and should remove the wax. Okay. All right, great. Oh, good. So Tony's made chicken livers in the Foodi many times. Awesome. Annie's laughing at me. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about the spice sugar. Okay, Ron wants to know, are steaks good in the air fryer? Yes, they are. They are very good in the air fryer. I do them like that all the time, really. Jeff, what would you say? Do you prefer grilled or air fried? Grilled. So he's still on the grill. Well, we made a really good grilled ribeye the other day that we used a little bit of smoke. It was good. Very good. I'll tell you, that Ninja wood fire, I love it. I just love it. Okay. Hey Deb, how are you? Okay, I'm going down. I'm looking here. Okay, so Susan, about the Ninja Foodi and money is an object, then look for the best deal. Okay, because sometimes you can get them for $100 and they are going to work perfectly fine, especially if you're just getting into it. I'm happy to help you find what you're looking for. If you want to send me an email, louise@thesaltedpepper.com, I'm happy to help you try to find what will work best for you. Because I really do think it's an amazing appliance. And what I'm like five years in now, and I still absolutely love it. It's still my number one go-to. My number two go-to would be at home. I use that XL oven a lot. The Combi probably is my number two. And then number three is the wood fire. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. So Annie's talking about on Amazon. I bought a stainless pot, but the nonstick seems to come from China. So Annie, the places that I've seen the nonstick pot are Ninja website and Kohl's. If you have the 6.5 quart, Kohl's carries that. So sometimes, like if you can get a 40% coupon or even 30% off, you can get a good deal on that. If you have the 6.5 quart, the 8 quart, I've only seen the 8 quart on the Ninja website. Okay. AD, thanks so much. My cheerleader here. If more people liked and shared, we could get Louise to 300,000 somebody watching. Oh, that's okay. Likes and subscribers don't really matter, honestly. And they've never mattered to me because I'm not a numbers person. I'm a people person. Like, I would rather have 2 people who like appreciate and I can help than 200 people that are just there because somebody asked them to be there, right? I don't want that. So I'm good. But I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, awesome. The chop suey. So I think I have that coming up to be posted. So I have started. So, okay, Facebook people, hear me. You might get really sick of me. Okay. Because for a long time, I've wanted to post more of my recipes on Facebook. I'm very bad at it. So when I make a recipe years ago, it never sees the light of day again. I don't promote it. I don't post it on Facebook. I just don't even think about it. I'm moving on. Right. And so I've really wanted to get things to where I'm posting more. And so I sat down and I wrote all these posts and scheduled them out for my business page, my Ninja Foodi 101 group, my Ninja Foodi Healthy group, and my recipe sharing group. So you're going to be seeing tons of recipes from me. And if you're in all those groups, you're going to see tons, but they're different. I made them different, right? But chop suey is one of them. I always thought that was chow mein. When my mom made it, she always called it chow mein. So when I was doing the recipe, I put it out there on Facebook and got some feedback. And turns out it's not, because I was doing Google research. Because before I do a recipe, I mean, I want to be correct about it. Because just because my family called it something doesn't mean they were right about it, right? So it turns out it isn't chow mein. It is chop suey, and it is delicious. But I have also been to some Chinese restaurants where their chicken chow mein is what I made, the chop suey. And they'll say that this is the Americanized version, because I think a lot of us in America will call chow mein, we'll call chop suey chow mein. Okay. All right. Missy, you can go on my website and find the recipe for the ham. It's on there. Just look up slow cooker ham. It's on there. Okay, let's see. John's telling me to get off. It's time to go eat. It's time to go eat. Okay, let's see. Look, and Andy's telling me goodbye too. So you guys are hanging up on me tonight, huh? You guys are hanging up on me. We didn't have a whole lot of cooking questions, so sorry about that. And yeah, so maybe next time, grab your cooking questions and ask away. I don't have to talk about myself all the time. But I also don't mind sharing that. I don't mind sharing what's been going on and all that kind of stuff. I think it's fun for us to get to know each other more. Vanessa, thank you so much. All right, so yeah, we'll be heating it back up, and hopefully it's good. I'll post on Facebook. I'll take a picture, and I'll let you guys know if I like it or not, because it's something new I've never tried, and I don't even know what it is. John, that's okay. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. I think I do need to, because my husband's home, and our food is getting cold. Oh, it's cold now. So, and I got spring rolls, so I do have to fire up, not spring rolls, egg rolls, shrimp egg rolls. So I need to fire up the Ninja Foodi and get that all warmed up. All right, guys, I'm going to hang up the phone now. And Tony, I'm going to get to you real quick. So Tony, any recipes for egg foo young? No. And I don't like the texture. I think it's just too weird for me, but I'll try it again, because, things change over the years. I have not tasted egg foo young in probably 20 years. So I'll try it again. Whitney, don't forget the kitten outside. Well, not outside. The kitten is inside the house, but outside of her room. And there was somebody else I was going to say something to, but anyway, I know I lost it. The chat's going fast. Oh, hi, newbie Nicole. How are you? Yes, the pasty recipe, that is going to be done soon. I'm sure of it. So now then I just have to find a rutabaga, because we don't really stock them here too often. So, but I will put a rutabaga in the traditional recipe. I think I'm going to do kind of the traditional and then wing it. Right. So we'll do two different versions so that you guys can see that you don't have to stick to the traditional. If you don't like rutabaga or you can't find one, you don't have to use it. There's so many things. I put like beef stew filling in mine. So I had chopped sirloin, mushrooms, amazing in there. Potatoes. I didn't even have an onion at home, so I skipped that. Used some onion powder instead. Peas. I love peas. So I put peas in there, potatoes. I forget what else, but it was basic. Oh, and carrots. So you can do anything you want with these little meat pies. I'm kind of nervous to call them pasties. I don't even know if I can say it right. I don't even know if pasties is right. It's not pasties, but it's pasties, I think. I don't know. I'm going to need some education on that. So I'm going to have to reach out to people and say, how do you say it? So I say it correctly. All right, I'm going to go eat. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining in on the live. And I'm just going right back down here a little bit, because I hate hanging up the phone. The peanut butter fudge is amazing, isn't it? Yes, empanadas. I want to get an empanada filling that I love, and pastel is, yes, that's another one, which I did not say that correctly, I'm sure. Hey, Joni, good to see you. I said it right. Pasties. I said it right, George. Yay, yay, yay. All right, guys. Pasty. All right. Kathy says I got it right. That's good. That means I can take it to YouTube. All right. Okay, Gus, you want to say goodbye? I love you. All right. Love you guys. See you later.